I'd like to call to order the Rutherford County School System, June 17th, 2024, regular meeting. Before we get started, I would like to welcome our special guest, Ms. Karen Dodd. Karen is here from Murfreesboro City School Board to evaluate us tonight, but she belongs to us. She teaches for Rutherford County, so she's at the virtual school. So welcome, Karen. We appreciate you coming tonight. We'll now have the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Darby.
Ms. Dodd is going to graciously lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we go into our moment of silence tonight, I would like for you to remember the family of our own Coy Young and his wife Jennifer in the loss of her father, Mr. Novus Henry. Novus Henry was probably the kindest man, except for Butch Mom, that I ever worked for when I worked for him in college, and he will be greatly missed in our community, Coy. A moment of silence. Thank you. Board, let's take a look at the agenda. Does anyone have any questions or comments about the regular agenda? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Thank you. Thank you. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Anyone wishing to abstain? The agenda is approved. Let's take a look at the consent agenda, which you have already gone through. Do I have any questions or comments on the consent agenda? There are no questions or comments. I will take a motion.
Move to approve. Go ahead.
Let's go with, did you say that?
Second.
Okay, did you say that, Ms. Darby?
Move to approve.
Okay, and we'll have you to second it, Ms. Rosales. Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Anyone wishing to abstain? The consent agenda is approved. We are now going to number 6, which is public comment. We have one guest speaker tonight, Ms. Leah Maitland. Ms. Maitland, would you come up to our podium? I think you know that the lights are for your time management, and you have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, friends. Tonight, I come before you to represent the voices of the nearly 100 parents and community members who have emailed you over the past few days about the funding of Rutherford Collegiate Prep and the disparities in funding for our county schools versus charter schools. Those who emailed you come from across the political spectrum. We are a group of Republicans, Democrats, and independents. This issue rises above partisanship. As we mentioned in our emails, we are alarmed to hear that our school district is being asked to divert over $8 million to a charter school that our school board unanimously rejected twice. We believe that if the state overrides local authority to approve a charter school, the state should be required to fund that charter school. Furthermore, we believe it is unfair that our local school district is funded based on the prior year's enrollment, while charters are funded based on next year's projections. While we recognize that many of these decisions come from state leadership, we look to you, our school board, to strongly represent your constituents in these discussions. We call on you to explore every possible avenue to correct these funding issues and disparities. We know that some of you have had discussions on this topic with members of the legislature, but there has been no meaningful movement on this issue. We have heard members of this board state that they were elected to be fiscally responsible with taxpayer dollars. Well, there is nothing fiscally responsible about diverting millions of dollars to a charter school that this district never wanted and didn't approve. So today, we ask you to reconsider and pass Coy Young's motion to explore the district's options concerning the funding mechanism disparities, to present and pass a board resolution calling on our state legislature to take responsibility for funding charter schools that they choose to approve in opposition to local school boards, and to work with state officials to change the funding mechanism so that our local school districts are funded based on projections as well. We call on this board to reject any charter school application until the state comes to the table and fixes these issues. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Maitland. Number 7, Rutherford Proud.
So Rutherford Proud, we have quite a few people here who are ready to be recognized and honored. We have state champion teams and student athletes. Rutherford County Schools once again has several teams and student athletes that went on to win state championships during the spring season, and tonight we're going to recognize them. All athletes and coaches were invited, but because it's summer and some may have already moved on to college and are participating in their college work, some are not able to attend because of other obligations. So we're going to ask each program, a representative from their school or their head coach to come up and just introduce their team and just talk a little bit about their season. First, we have Oakland Middle School softball team, Coach Higgs. They were the TMSAA state champion, the first softball title in school history. So, Coach Higgs, come on up.
Oh, they've got their track.
Yeah, I can slide around, that's fine. Just first off, just want you girls to know that, you know, the coaching staff, myself and Coach Aaron are extremely proud of the accomplishments y'all had this season. Went on to win the Rutherford County Championship, sectional championship, and then winning the state championship. I think we finished the season 28-1. We had one incredible season, and we're really proud of these girls. We are going to lose a lot of our 8th grade group, but that's just the opportunity for the younger class to step up and get a lot of playing time. So hopefully we can run it back one more year, and hopefully to stay at Oakland. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Mr. Evans, do you want to get all of their pictures out front?
Okay, we'll go to the front. Okay, that will be fine.
All right, next we have Eagleville Baseball, who was making this a yearly appearance for us. They are the TSSAA Class 1A State Championship for the 3rd time in a row, so 3-time defending. And we'll have Coach Bassett.
This is great.
And while they're coming up here, I just hope my son Declan's not watching because he is dying to do that to his hair too. And I've told him no, not till he gets to high school. I said not as a middle schooler, so I'm hoping he's not watching.
I'll take this time, first of all, to introduce our team that's here with us tonight. Looks like on the end there, this is Josh Jeffcoat and Spencer Robbins, Colt Bassham, Brody Range, Nathan Brown, Tucker McCleary, Donovan Drew, Jacob Sweeney, Brady Burns, Adrian Severi, Carter Blair, and Bryson Edging. Coach Todd Williamson is on the end there, and Coach Marty McCleary back here trying to hide in the corner. We also have administrators here with us, our athletic director, assistant principal, Mr. Jason Brown, and our principal, Mr. Tim Pedigo. So it starts with these guys for sure, so give those guys a round of applause. I came last year without notes, and I didn't think that was very successful, so we tried this year with notes. I'll try to keep it brief. They'll probably tell you I'm not real great at that, but I'll do the best I can. As you said, when you stand here a year ago, you never think you'll probably be back. But fortunately for us, luckily for us, this is our third consecutive year. This group together has combined for 106 wins. Never once, I think, didn't accept the role. You have 27 different guys in the locker room, 27 different roles. Some of these guys have played in 118 games in the past 3 years. Some of them 60, some of them 30, some of them 10, but each of them accepted their role. Playing for each other, something greater than theirself. Holding the pressure and expectations the whole time. Three-peat was even mentioned to me on the field in 2023 before we even left the field that day after our second consecutive championship. Honestly, they probably handled that pressure better than I did. I hope they've learned from me what all I've learned from them. They deserve all the recognition they get. Only one time in TSSA history has there been 4 consecutive championships in a row. I don't know what next year holds, but I'm sure this group will handle it well, and it will be a lot of fun. Great support. Again, I'm talking about my assistant coaches, Coach Todd Williamson and Coach Marty McCleary. Our administration does a great job. Our parents do a phenomenal job. Our community is amazing. And even, I don't know how many other places you would find a place where your mayor and softball coach drives the bus to the championship game on Friday morning. It's pretty neat. I'll close with this. As we finish that day, you think on Friday when school's out, after a state championship win, most kids would be ready to get away from each other. As I left the locker room that day, I told the 8 guys playing ping pong and the 3 guys walking the field I needed a nap and I was leaving. They were still there playing ping pong, hanging out with each other. If you don't know what kind of chemistry these guys have, that explains it better than I can. They're a great team. They're better kids and student athletes. And again, they deserve all the recognition they get. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Stewart's Creek High School softball, the TSSA state runner-up, and I'll introduce Athletic Director, Assistant Principal Todd Harris.
Dr. Sullivan, Board of Education, I stand here very, very privileged, having wore myself out on the semifinal day following the softball team and also the track and field team. And it's a privilege to bring up here the coach for our softball team, Coach Jennifer Fernandez. Coach Fernandez, come on up here. And I just got to tell you, I'm probably the only AD this year that got in trouble with the coach at the state tournament. She addressed me after the umpire said the crowd was a little too loud. And so she came straight over to me and she's like, Harris, you need to be quiet. And so anyway, it's a privilege to hand this microphone off to Coach Fernandez and our softball team.
Thank you very much. We are excited to be here, and it's been one heck of a season. We didn't expect any others as far as myself. My coach, Jennifer Patterson, has been with me for the last 6 years. She was unable to make it tonight, and these ladies are in town able to make it as well. But we have had a nice run. We were 32-16 for the season. Very much the underdog. We were second in district tournament. We were regional champs, and we were runner-up in state. No one but us, our coaching staff, our team, our families, our fans knew where we could go for this season for sure, and we definitely proved that underdog caliber team as far as being able to beat the best that was out there. I'm very proud of these. Jaden Brawley, she will be upcoming junior. Chloe Quiggle will be an upcoming sophomore. Tanasia Thomas, one of our seniors. A.K. Bells will be a senior this year. Callie Taylor will be a senior. Samaya Sandiford will be a sophomore. And Aubrey Ashworth, junior. Aubrey Ashworth, it was one of our seniors as well that was here tonight. So just to let you know, I was told today at 10:30 this morning that we needed to be here. Just to prepare everybody, I just came from our second tryout. So this is the look that you see me on the ball field. This is what I'm used to. And I literally was not prepped or ready to attend this today. Thankful for being here. We appreciate it. But was not prepared. So I have no notes with me right here. But I can't wait to see what this team does next year for sure. We definitely have the ability. The humbleness. We went 4-2 in the state. We put the winners last year in the losers bracket for our first game, which was definitely unexpected, but accomplished a lot of goals, team goals, individual goals, and we expect that much more next year. Thank you.
All right, next we have Rich Lance from Siegel High School, the boys AA tennis championship. I don't know, is Coach Jeff Martin or is Rich here tonight? Either one of them? I didn't think so, but just to read you a little bit, he won the state championship as a junior. He won the title 2-0 as a freshman. He was a state semifinalist as a sophomore, state championship runner-up. And then this year as a junior won the state championship and didn't lose a single set during the entire tournament. So congratulations to him as well. All right, next we have Stewart's Creek High School girls AAA 400-meter dash championship, and Coach Harris, you're back up.
One thing I do want to add, and I went back and I looked, Coach Fernandez for softball, during the playoffs, they defeated the teams that were ranked 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8 going into the playoffs. So anyway, went back and looked at that, Coach. Very impressive. Y'all, I stand here again today, super duper privileged, because this is a first for Stewart's Creek High School. We have an individual state champion for the first time in our school's history, and we are super duper honored and privileged to honor this young lady, but I think it would be remiss if I did not allow her coach to come and make that introduction. So Coach Taffy Davenport, she's been the leader of our track and field program for several years now, does a great job. I'm going to hand this over to Taffy, and she's going to make the introduction of our first ever individual state champion.
Both super comfortable being up here. Let me just first, I just want to thank you for taking the time to recognize them, because they go through so much during the season and they put in so much work, and it's nice to actually get to come here and be recognized, so I really appreciate that. But this is Cameron Merriman. She is a junior this year, but she is she's not new to the state as far as it goes. In her freshman year, she finished 7th and podiumed in the 400. Her sophomore year, she came in and finished 5th, and then this year took it all and was the state champion. And she doesn't stop, because then right after that, she starts competing for AAU, and actually just got back last night from Adidas Nationals, where she was an All-American in the 800 and ran a 2:14.40. So she was 5th place All-American honors in the Adidas Nationals this weekend. So we're super proud of her. And again, I just want to thank everybody for allowing us to honor her, because she is a super hard worker. She's a captain of the team, leader by not only her athletic ability, but by how she acts around everybody. She is an amazing student on top of being an athlete, and I wish I had more like her. So thank you very much.
And then we have Blackman High School girls 4x100 meter relay team, the Class AAA championship, and we have Coach Sutton here, I believe, to tell us a little bit about that season.
Thank you for allowing us to be here. We have here, this is the 4x100 girls. We have on the end freshman Ariana Isbell, sophomore Samara Schroeder, senior Imani Owens, senior Jamaria Harold, and the girls sprint coach Brianna Tate. So this group is representative of our team. Our team is, Mr. Smith said at my final exit interview, he's like, you realize this team is bigger than the football team, because we had a roster of 150 with 11 coaches. So, and I kind of preach, they are representative of all of that here tonight. So we preach excellence in the classroom, as well as athletic ability and in the community. And this group also represents that. And if I may, these four ladies had a tremendous season as a relay. Along with being the state champions, they were our section champions. They were the district champions. There's an all-star meet. that Nashville has for the mid-state. They were the grade 8 champions. They went to another school up in Nashville and defeated several strong schools up there by almost 2 seconds. So these four had a tremendous year. They also had a tremendous coach. Coach Tate has been with us for 2 years, and she works really well with the ladies, and I'm super proud to have her. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Do you want to send them to the lobby? Run while you still can. There goes everybody, yeah. I know. Yeah, oh yeah, I think his son is named Richard. Oh yeah, they were born with a racket in their hand. Yeah, that's definitely Rick Lance's. Just about everybody.
The baseball players, Coach Edgy, like coaches at Riverdale, after he left.
We will move on to number 8, instruction.
All right, number 8, instruction, Synergy Student Information System, SIS. Following a competitive process that included multiple groups of stakeholders and product demonstrations, curriculum instructions, requesting the board approval for a move to Synergy SIS as the Rutherford County Schools Student Information System with implementation beginning in the 24-25 school year for full use beginning in 25-26. Synergy platform provides a level of data and process management that's required for RCS moving forward in the areas of usability, productivity, accuracy, and efficiency. Recommended motions to approve Synergy as the RCS student information system with implementation beginning in the 24-25 school year at a cost of $108,875. And as we discussed at our work session on Thursday, we still have Skyward for this school year. This is just the transition for the following school year. So parents, students, everything stays the same with Skyward for this year.
Questions or comments on number 8? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Thank you. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Anyone wishing to abstain? Our motion passes. Number 2.
Number 2, additional laptops for Laverne Lake Elementary. Laverne Lake Elementary is requesting to purchase 166 additional Dell 3140 laptops. These laptops will be used by students for online projects, personalized learning lessons, and assessments. The cost of these laptops will not exceed $54,500 and will be funded through 24-25 Title I funds. Recommended motions to approve the purchase of 166 additional Dell laptops for Laverne Lake Elementary for student use pending approval of the fiscal year 2025 Title I budget.
Questions or comments on this motion? I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Anyone wishing to abstain? Our motion passes. Number 9, transportation.
Number 9, transportation, board activity bus camera installation request, purchase of the gatekeeper camera systems, like the system utilized on contractor buses at a cost of $208,440.52 for all 70 RCS activity buses. Recommended motions to approve or deny the purchase of the gatekeeper camera systems at $208,404.52 for all RCS activity buses funded from fund balance in July for the 25 school year is presented.
Questions or comments on this motion?
Ms. Bratton?
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Sullivan, I have a question for you. The $208,440.52, is that something that can be fundraised?
What do you mean by
Can we get
fundraise?
donations specifically that can go towards this?
Yeah, we can get donations for anything.
Okay, great. Well, because right now, we're having to look for funding, looking at donations to raise funds for activity bags, which will have a tourniquet kit, and they're supposed to be going towards having one at every classroom, and it's equivalent of that same funding. So I was just asking if that was something that can be fundraised as well.
Good question. Anyone else? Seeing no other, I want to ask that whoever makes the motion make sure that you put in either to approve or deny the purchase. I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay? I will call a roll call vote on this.
Mr. Tidwell?
Yes.
Mrs. Darby?
Yes?
Mrs. Maxwell?
No.
Ms. Sharp?
Yes.
Mrs. Rosales?
No.
Mr. Young?
No.
Mrs. Bratton?
No. The motion fails. Number 10, financial matters.
Number 10, Financial Matters, Tab 2. This is Fund 141 Budget Amendment. This year-end cleanup amendment budgets $8,158,644 for items such as leave payouts, increases for degree and certification pay scale changes, hardest staff bonuses and stipends, insurance premium increases, adjustments for amended Innovative Schools Model Program, additional costs for contracted services and capital outlay for construction, funding for these expenses to come from the additional TISA revenue for outcome and fast growth funding collected above budgeted amount, and moving current budgeted expenditures between multiple accounts and within object codes. Recommended motion to approve the fiscal year 23-24 year-end cleanup amendment as presented. Madam Chair, if you might. So I think it's good for everyone that's watching to understand how we have to budget as a school system. Our fiscal year ends on June 30th, but our teacher payroll runs several months behind. And so we are, in essence, budgeting what expenditures are going to be like for July and August for teachers who have already worked and paid that. So it is somewhat of you take an estimated guess, the best you possibly can. If people retire during the next week and a half, and we don't have their vacation days paid out and guessed the best possible way that we can, then that impacts it. So we try to throw a little bit of funds into each one to give ourselves a little bit of a cushion, but it is unique in that you are budgeting all of your end of the year on June 30th when you still have two $20 million payrolls that are going to hit in July and August.
Thank you. Anyone else? Questions or comments on this? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. Anyone wishing to abstain? Motion passes. Number 2.
Number 2 is our next fund, Fund 143 budgeted amendments. This Fund 143 centralized cafeteria year-end cleanup amendment budgets funds for expenditures such as food supplies and materials and the transportation of those items. This amendment moves money from and to multiple line items without increasing or decreasing revenues and expenditures. This allows several line items to have money amended into them so they will not be over budget at year-end. Recommended motions to approve the fiscal year 23-24 Fund 143 year-end cleanup amendment as presented.
Need to say anything on that one? Do we have any questions on that? Comments? I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Anyone wishing to abstain? The motion passes. Number 3.
And our last fund, Fund 177, Fund Balance Amendment. This Fund 177 Capital Projects Year-End Cleanup Amendment budgets funds for expenditures for maintenance and repair services for projects that occurred in the fiscal year 23-24. This amendment moves money from multiple line items to Object Code 355 without increasing or decreasing revenues and expenditures. This allows several line items to have money amended into them so they will not be over budgeted at year end. Recommended motions to approve the fiscal year 23-24 Fund 177 year-end cleanup amendment as presented.
Anyone have questions on Fund 177? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Anyone wishing to abstain? Our motion carries. Number 2, engineering and construction.
So now we have Siegel High School's greenhouse CTE project request. Rutherford County Schools Career and Technical Education Departments proposing the construction of 120 by 45 greenhouse to be purchased from Morton's Horticultural Products in McMinnville, Tennessee for the Siegel High Agriculture Education Program. This RCS-CTE department will be paying for the purchase of the greenhouse, site work, greenhouse installation, and utility installation, as well as any necessary permits, plans, and/or fees. This project will be funded through the State Innovative Schools Models Grant and at no cost to the board. Recommended motions to approve the Siegel High CTE greenhouse project as presented.
Questions on the greenhouse? Comments?
Ms.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Thank you. After the conversation that we had at the board meeting, at the work session on Thursday, I made a phone call to one of our city councilmen about the issue that we're running into with the permits and also with the greenhouse as well. And he also told, and the person that I spoke with shared with me that he had another board member called as well, and that they're going to be looking into this matter and situation and trying to understand why we're getting asked these extra fees and extra things that we have to do to get this project off the ground. Because I would hate for us to use up the money that we're getting for the grant and then not able to move forward with it. I'm sure everyone on the board will think the same way. So I did have a positive conversation with one of our city councilmen.
This isn't our only project we're having trouble with.
Right, and the other
Multiple,
one, yes.
multiple
And that
projects,
was
so.
brought up.
Was that brought up also? Thank you so much. Anyone else? Seeing none, I will take a recommended motion.
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Anyone wishing to abstain? Motion passes. Number 12, insurance.
Yes, we have our meeting at the end of the month. I think it's the 26th with Gallagher, which is our broker. We should be getting those costs and be able to give you an update at the July board meeting.
Okay, thank you. Financial report.
Yeah, just a couple quick things. This budget amendment has a very quick turnaround. So, Mr. Runyon, can you go ahead and send it if you haven't already? So, figured he already did. We have health and education tomorrow at 5:30. Following health and education, the budget committee for the county commission meets to have a public hearing on this year's proposed budget. And then these budget amendments go to the budget commission on Thursday. And then next Monday at 9 o'clock at the courthouse is when they vote to accept the tax rate. And up until that moment, kind of anything is on the table, the tax rate. Any commissioner can put anything on the table. So Monday at 9 o'clock is when we will have an idea of where our budget stands.
Do you need any of us there?
I think so.
Okay.
Hope not.
Okay, I hope not, okay. Just making sure.
Thursday?
It'll be 5:30. The one tomorrow night is immediately following health and ed. I think it says 7 that it's published.
Anything else? Director's update.
Yeah, 2 quick congratulations. We will call Ellie Lee, our teacher at Smyrna Middle School, who is one of the 9 finalists for 24-25 Tennessee Teacher of the Year. So we continually have finalists for just about all of these programs, which being in Mid-Cumberland region is extremely hard because we're the most populated region. And so we'll have Ellie come in once we get a little bit further into that process. So congratulations to her. And then also, she didn't know I was doing this, but congratulations to Patty Easer, she's still back there? Okay,
yes.
She is still back there. So Patty was recognized last week by the YMCA of Middle Tennessee's School Age Services Division as their Community Impact Award recipient. And so congratulations for that honor and that.
all you got? Okay. General discussion. I would like to take a moment to read something to the public. I've received approximately 70 emails from our parents addressing concerns over the charter school inequities in funding. I would like to read the entire contents of this important email in public for the record. Dear School Board Member Sheila Bratton, as a resident of Rutherford County and a proud supporter of our local public schools, I am alarmed to hear that our school district is being asked to divert over $8 million to a charter school that our school board rejected twice. Furthermore, it is unfair that our local school district is funded based on prior year enrollment, while charters are funded based on next year's projections. While we recognize that these decisions come from the state leadership, we ask that you join your fellow board members and take the following actions. Number 1, reconsider and pass Coy Young's motion to explore the district's options concerning the funding mechanism disparities. Number 2, pass a board resolution calling on our state legislature to take responsibility for funding charter schools that they choose to approve in opposition to local school boards. And number 3, work with state officials to change the funding mechanism so that our local school districts are funded based on projection. We are grateful for your service and advocacy for our students and our community. We appreciate the support and feedback from our amazing community. Hopefully, this issue can be rectified in the near future. Thank you. Anyone else on general discussion?
Ms. Sheila?
Yes, ma'am.
I agree. I do believe that there has to be a change to be done to make it fair across the board. And I have said before, and I will continue to say, number 1, I am a supporter of charter school. I ran for charter schools to give parents a choice so they can give that choice to give that choice to the students and what's best for their education. However, I do believe that how it's set up right now with the state having the ability to reappeal a decision, it's not fair to the local body when they make those decisions. So there should be a separate funding for those so that it doesn't have to come back to the local level at all. That's my personal opinion. I also want to say that I've sent out an email since we've started this conversation to every single member in our delegation, and I know that they're listening and they are responding, but one thing that they're telling me is that this is a pass-through, that the funding for the charter school is a pass-through. It's really hard to accept that as a pass-through funding when one particular charter school that we know about has at least 62 students that never came to our system. So it's not a true pass-through if that child and student was never in our public school, in our system. And having to look at the numbers and having to create a budget that we're having to figure out how to get resources for 51,000 students, when in actuality, we're having to look at a budget and reduce it down for the funding really for 49,000 students. It's just not fair to our system in having to allocate that funding in such a way because of how the rules are. We need this to be a little bit more fair.
Thank you. Anyone else? No other comments or questions? Ms. Darby?
Move to adjourn.
Ms. Maxwell?
Second.
Thank you. We are now adjourned.